My name is Ibrahim Memic. As the project management of the ARWAG holding group, I represent one of the largest property developers in Vienna. In the next 15 minutes, I would like to journey on that together with Dr. Bernhard Scharf on my right side. And I will show you the goals, also the quality criteria and the implementation of an innovative interdisciplinary smart city project, Biotope City Wienerberg. The beginning. How did our story begin? It started with an article in an Austrian daily newspaper, The Standard, in February 2012. With the title, Coca-Cola is moving its production from Vienna to Burgenland. That's how the project was initiated. The existing property is fully development and surrounded by single-family houses, offices and shops and parks. The location. We are in the south of Vienna, in the 10th Vienna city district, under Trieste number 91. The location is quite densely populated and developed. The public transportation is already easily accessible, and soon a new underground network will further improve the accessibility to the public transportation. You can get to the Vienna City Opera in the city center by bike in only 15 minutes. We are talking here of a distance of 5 kilometers. Office and shops are located vis-à-vis the location. In the northeast of the property, there is a residential area. The property is adjacent to the Wienerberg Park with a nature-preserved pond in the south and the west of the location. The facts. The whole area spread out over 6.8 hectares. 7 property developers cooperated on this project due to the size of the property. During the development process, the whole area was divided into 14 real estates. An interdisciplinary development process was initiated with the aim to develop a master plan and to define a quality standards. The road. With joint forces, we developed a master plan for urban planning which based on interdisciplinary and cooperative process of project development. The procedure shows a perfect interaction between architects, developers of public spaces, urban developers, traffic planners, mobility planners, sociologists and energy developers, and focuses on area and quality management, sociological aspects of urban planning, mobility plan, public transportation, energy concept of Biotope City. The results are summed up in quality catalog. We didn't define what we do not want. On the contrary, we focused on what we want to achieve, and there are these aspects: living in the green spaces, green parks and connection to the nature, green facades, green rooftops, urban gardening, natural spaces for people and animals, car-free area. What we did. What have we achieved? 1,000 apartments, 16% rental, 40% privately owned, 700 square meter commercial space, 14,000 square meter office, hotels and commercial, 1 school, 2 kindergartens, 1,250 car parking slots, 1,700 square meter of common space, 1,000 square meter retention pond as a part of rainwater management, and the same time as living space for versatile species. 4 kilometers of infrastructure lines and 14 forest trees. It's the same with 20 years as a mature trees. How did we achieve it? Let's call it implement changes. Thinking scientifically, environmentally friendly, and protecting the climate instead of improving old. By having a clear concept and ideas, by thinking as an interdisciplinary team, by following the same goal with other participating developers, by providing the green areas as part of the living space for people and the animals, by including climate neutral design of the house on the landscape based on the scientific models, by behaving scientific, by applying the traffic light system as a part of supporting quality control during the construction works. By follow up on evaluation of the quality standards after moving into the building. And how to implement change, or how do we apply the changes? Together with property developers who participated in this project, researchers, scientists, engineers, and most important of all, our willingness and knowledge how to improve climatic changes. Thank you for your attention. It's my pleasure to give the floor to the Herr Scharf. He will explain the scientific aspects of Biotope City, Smart City, from point of view.
Thank you for having the pleasure to introduce you to the Biotope City approach, scientific approach, how we can achieve climate resilient urban quarters, what we really need, and everyone I think is aware of. And we did this with a new tool called GREENPASS, and I will give you some insights on how we implemented that for the Biotope City. First of all, let's go back to the start. You can see here Mr. Harry Glück in the background, a famous architect in social housing, who came across the idea of the Biotope City as it was developed by Professor Helga Fassbinder. And he was absolutely fascinated because it also is in line with his ideas of qualities for social housing. One aspect is the appeal of nature, and Biotope City is a lot about appeal of nature. So he initiated the project, found real estate developers that would support the idea, and finally we found the Coca-Cola area in the Triester on the Wienerberg in Vienna. And all started with a cooperative design process, as mentioned by Mr. Memic before, with different approaches how we could develop this 6.8 hectares. You can see here some different sketches from that design process. And we ended up with this approach. And why is that? Because it fits the requirements of the real estate developers. It fits the requirements of the municipality. And it also was a very promising approach regarding climate resilience. We have a good connection to the adjacent parks, which is very much important for biodiversity. It also provides a very good ventilation system, and the buildings were orientated now north to the south with 35 meters in height, so providing a lot of shading. And most of all, everything is greened, the roofs are greened, the facades are greened, and the open spaces, as mentioned before, are heavily greened with a super effective green infrastructure. What we wanted to know is how good is this approach really, and how can we optimize it? And this was the point where we brought in the GREENPASS tool into the project so that we can learn how urban quarters really work and how we can really be effective in terms of installing green infrastructures. GREENPASS is the first planning and certification tool for climate resilient urban planning and architecture. And by that, it uses expert simulation tools and extracts and calculates from that 5 key performance scores, 7 key performance indicators, and 16 urban performance indicators from the results from the simulation combined with spatial analysis and some other things. And there are additionally 20 bonus indicators, so that also award points to a project. The GREENPASS toolbox is designed, that you can see on the right-hand side, is designed to really follow the principles of the development of urban areas from the preliminary design phase to the concept design phase to the detailed design phase to really guarantee and secure the qualities over that long period of, it was 6 years now. Yes, here you can see the area again. Let's skip that. What we did basically is we transformed the architecture into simulation models. You can see on the lower left, you can see the originally planned design. On the top left, the original situation. On the right-hand side, we generate reference scenarios based on the planned design with the worst case, moderate case, and best case scenario. So here you can see simulation results for the air temperature for 3 p.m., 10 p.m., and 4 a.m. for the 6 different scenarios that we looked at: the optimized plant design, the plant design, and the status quo from the Coca-Cola company. And on the lower the bottom line shows you the results for the different reference scenarios. But more information can be extracted from the thermal and wind comfort maps. Thermal and wind comfort maps illustrate how livable the area will be, and you can see again the 6 different designs that we analyzed with the simulation and the GREENPASS indicator system. You can see on the top left again the optimized plant Biotope city. In the middle you can see the original design. On the right hand side you can see the status quo, the existing situation, with a lot of orange areas, which means it's very hot there, very uncomfortable. And you can see a lot of blue in the optimized design, which means it's comfortable, it's nice to live there, to sit under a tree, for instance. The wind field is the same. What we do with this is not only having nice pictures, but we analyze that and we make suggestions for optimizations. Like you can see on the right-hand side, we analyze the area and we give suggestions how to improve the thermal comfort. We do the same for the wind comfort to avoid gust areas and stuff like this, which are also not really cozy to sit there or to play there. And what we can do is we can easily compare different design approaches. You can see our performance bars on the left-hand side and so-called difference maps on the right-hand side, where we can easily compare the different design approaches and visually and in numbers can understand which design approach is better or which aspect of a design approach works better than the other. So this is the basis for the optimization process. We ended up with the optimized design, which reached 93% of fulfillment, which is the new record in the GREENPASS history of 3 years and 90 projects. So it's really a great number here and a great performance, and we have such a pleasure and we're very happy to being allowed to support the project and finally see that the Biotope City is not only words and qualitative measures, but it really works in terms of climate resilience. And we can certify that. And with these words, I want to close this presentation and looking forward to your questions. And I have a question for you. You might want to ask yourself or think about it in a group. How climate resilient and livable is your project? Thank you.